Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here today. Today's video is going to be the final ranch house kitchen makeover. I am so excited to be sharing this video with you guys. I worked so hard on it and I think it turned out really beautiful on an extreme budget. So if you are excited to see the final reveal, please keep watching. Alright, so to start off this video, I wanted to share a time-lapse, kind of highlighted version of the entire makeover. I wanted to do it this way so that way you could see an entire start to finish of the full transformation. It also makes the before and after a little bit more satisfying when you can see all the work that went into the project. So if you have already checked it out and you don't want to watch it again, I will have a timestamp right here on the screen so you can skip to where I left off last week. So as you can see from the start of the video so far, we removed the upper cabinets. I framed out a small closet to go around the water heater and the electrical, and then I also worked on cleaning the cabinetry really well, and I started painting. So painting makes a world of a difference in the space, and it's always something I really recommend, especially if you're on a tight budget. Paint can go a long way and transform any space. And here on my channel, I try really hard to show you guys budget-friendly decorating, affordable DIYs. That way you don't feel like you have to go out and spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to make a beautiful space for your family. Here's a quick video clip of my original design plan. You can see this was just kind of like a reference for what I was looking for. I definitely wanted to do some type of brick backsplash, and I kind of went back and forth on this because I knew that these brick panels were about $50 a piece and it was going to be a little over $100 to do that entire wall. But I love brick. I think it's just a beautiful, easy way to incorporate, some texture into your house, and it kind of goes with anything. So that's why I decided to stick with the original plan. Plus, a lot of you guys, gave me suggestions and recommended that I just stuck with it, because in a few videos I mentioned that I kind of thought about doing beadboard because it was cheaper, but I love how encouraging you guys are, so thank you so much for that.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt.
At this point, the project was really starting to come together. I could definitely see my vision coming to life. And the brick part, I feel like, was the hardest part of the entire project for me personally, just because these brick panels are kind of awkwardly shaped, and holding them in place, nailing them up, making sure everything was nice and even was a little challenging, but I did it, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Sometimes it's totally worth all the hard work when you can stand back and be like, I did it all by myself. So I was super proud of myself for that. And then here I was just using some joint compound to seal the brick where I had cut them to kind of form together. But something I learned really quickly was that my seam further down the wall, where I didn't do the whole cutting thing, actually looks a lot nicer than the seam where I cut the bricks out. I didn't do the best job with that, and I'm kind of bummed that I even decided to do it. It took me way too long, and I wish I would have just lined the bricks up like I did the other two panels. So you learn as you go, and now I know.
Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride.
In last week's video, this was about where I left off. We removed the old countertops, replaced them with the new laminate countertop from Lowe's. It was $169 for this new countertop, which is so beautiful. The colors are just perfect. So we put those new countertops in, and my husband worked on cutting out the hole for the sink, and we got the new sink installed. Well, it was kind of installed. It was setting into the countertop, but it wasn't hooked up to the plumbing just yet because there was a leak at the well, so that had to be fixed. And I also needed new plumbing pipes since the sinks were in different positions and different heights for the like the length of the pipe, but I got that fixed. Also, Zoe came up here on that day, and it was super cute that she found her old couch and she got right up in her spot. It was the cutest thing. I had to share it with you guys. And then my husband worked on just putting up the light that I got off of Amazon for $35. That just kind of adds a little bit of charm and character to the space. So it's not actually hooked up to any electrical, by the way. It's just there for looks. I know. I am going to put one of those like little light bulbs in it that are battery operated, but I needed a light up here. I just had a vision for it. Alright, so I made it up here for the week 4 makeover series on this kitchen. So today I'm going to be working on putting my trim up along here so that way everything's nice and seamless. I ended up getting, I hope this works okay. I ended up getting like a little bit of a thicker board because I was worried the thin one wasn't going to fit all the way down. Oh yeah, it'll be perfect. Oh yay, it looks great too. Cool. Alright, so that'll go there. It'll all be painted the same color as this. So I'm actually going to paint it before I nail it up. So I'm going to go out there and paint 2 of these, and then I'll just cut the other one. Actually, I'll cut them and then paint them. That'll be smarter. Okay, so I got the boards cut. What I did was I just made a 45-degree angle on both of the boards. That way whenever you put them together, it's like a nice seamless look. I'll show you once I put them on. But I'm going to go ahead and start painting these. And I'm just using this so that way I don't get paint on the ground. So what my plan is now is to get up on the counter, and I'm going to put one of these pieces of trim up here, so that way it's nice and seamless once again, because I don't want all like the rough edges of the brick to show.
Passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to.
Right after working on this second coat for the lower trim that's going to go above the countertop, it was time to start painting all of this exposed plywood. I tried rolling it, but it was taking way too long, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to attempt to use the sprayer again. And you guys, I was cracking up last night while I was editing this video at myself with the shirt on my head. First of all, it was so low. How did I even see? It was so funny. It was so funny to watch this back, because in the moment I was thinking, I'm protecting my face, my hair, my eyes. I'm not going to get paint all over me. And guess what happened? I still got paint all over me, but I did it, you guys. I figured out the paint sprayer, and I was so proud because I was so bummed the first time I ever used this. I literally cried. So that says a lot. And once I figured out a good mixture with the paint and water, I was like, you know what? I got this. I just need a ladder and a lot more paint and glasses. And I got started. After getting all of the first coat done, it was time to work on the second coat, and that was when I realized that my camera battery died. I was so bummed because I was really excited to be up there using this paint sprayer. I couldn't wait to share it with you, and I only got half of me painting the wall, but it's totally fine. Y'all get the point. I sprayed the wall, and I also had to whip out the big ladder because I was having a hard time reaching at the very top of this corner. And you can see I was not going any further than this step. I am terrified of heights. So I was like, I'm just going to point and spray and hope for the best. And it worked, but I got paint everywhere. So I had a lot of cleanup to do. But luckily, any areas that did get paint on them, I got some all over the ladder, it does scrape right off. So it wasn't that big of a deal.
I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. Cause I found my way. Cause I found my way. I find my way, my way, my way, find my way, my way. 'Cause I find my way, my way, my way, find my way, my way. I found my way, I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. 'Cause I found my way, I found my way.
I did want to tell you guys that once I get a little bit more comfortable using the sprayer, I will definitely share it with you. However, I'm not to the point where I feel comfortable enough giving you tips on it just yet, so bear with me while I practice with it, and as soon as I get it figured out, I promise I will share that information with you.
'Cause I found my way. 'Cause I found my way. 'Cause I found my way, my way, my way, my way, my way.
After getting all of that plastic removed, I'm going to go ahead and attach the trim that's going to go right above the countertop, and you can see how that just immediately makes everything look a lot more seamless. And with the 45-degree angle that I cut earlier, it just goes together perfectly and you can hardly tell there's a seam there. After getting that trim put up, I went ahead and worked on staining that piece of wood that goes across the top of the kitchen. I'm using the brand, I think it's a Minwax gel stain. It's in the color Coffee. And I didn't do any prep work. I just literally applied the gel stain right over top of the existing wood, and it went on perfectly and gave a beautiful, dark, rich color. So if you remember in last week's video, I talked about how I didn't love the paint color that I chose. However, once it was dry, it wasn't, as dull as it originally looked. So I was actually kind of happy with the way the color was coming out. So I went ahead and worked on that second coat, and once it's dry and I add the handles, everything came together nicely. I did want to point out though that the cabinet at the very end where the two sodas are sticking out by the fridge, I will be closing that off with a cabinet door, but the cabinet doors that were up here, I didn't have one that was big enough. The opening is a little bit more wide, so I'll have to custom make one out of a piece of plywood, so I will do that in a future video. I didn't have time to do that on this week just due to some family stuff going on, but I will get to that. I didn't want to paint it because I knew it was going to turn out good, because those cubbies, they might not look that small, but they are super narrow, and unless I whipped out the paint sprayer just to spray the inside, I would have never been able to get it covered enough, and it would have looked horrible if I tried to paint it. Hey y'all, so I am up here fixing to work on the open shelving that's going to go right here. I'm going to work on staining them. I got the stain outside already. This is the gel stain that I've been using on the window here, on this board that's right up there. This is the color Coffee. It is a gel stain, so it goes right on top of already stained stuff and kind of just darkens it. This used to be very like yellow wood, very similar to what's right here. And as you can see, it darkened it really nicely. So that's what I'm going to use on this little cutout as well, and that little seasoning cabinet. But before I start working on that, I want to get outside and stain the two boards that are going to be used for the open shelving. I'm going to be using a different color for those though. I'm going to use the same color that I used right here around the door. It's hard to like point when you're looking at the camera. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I got a paintbrush to apply the stain, just like super inexpensive things. And while that's drying, I will work on this other little cutout and everything. So I just need this. I need my tripod, and let's go get started. The color that I'm using for the open shelving is called Roanoke, or
Roanoke. Someone told me how to say this and I forgot, so I'm sorry. But yeah, that's what I'm using. And I'm just using a really inexpensive paintbrush to apply it. I got these from Dollar Tree. They're actually really great quality. I'm gonna go back and get a whole bunch because, to be honest with you, I like these better than the ones at Walmart. I feel like they're a lot more like firm, and for $1.25 you can't beat it. So I'm gonna use that, but it's always good to like pull all the little stringy ones out before you get started.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to share about the gel stain is that when you're going over wood that's already been stained and sealed, if you're using the gel stain over it, you have to keep it in the same direction. It will darken it. It's kind of like adding almost like a painted stain look. It does not seep into the existing stain, if that makes sense. It doesn't soak in like it would here. See how I'm using that other stain that I used on the open shelving? It's soaking right into that wood, giving the wood just a darker, rich color. However, with the gel stain, you're kind of painting it on to give like a wood stained look. It's kind of hard to explain. If you've ever worked with gel stain before, you know what I'm talking about. It's a little tricky, but with practice, you can definitely figure it out. I just wanted to say what a night and day difference it made staining that wood. Holy moly, I am so excited to work on the rest of this house and go through and stain all of this dark, rich color. It's just so beautiful and looks so much better. By the way, earlier I forgot to mention, these are 1x8 boards and they are 6 foot long. So what I did was I took my L brackets and measured in a foot in from each side to make sure they were both even. I did that for both of the shelves and I'm going to go ahead and get those put up now.
All right, got my first shelf up. It's nice and level. I will have to go back in and paint those screws black. And then over here, I stained that little cubby and the seasoning cabinet. I'm working on putting up my second shelf now. I decided to put it all the way against the wall. I don't know if that was the best decision. We'll see as it, I just didn't want to put it over the sink. And I really like the long shelf. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with it and just see how it turns out.
In case you're wondering on the screws that I used, I just used 2.5-inch just regular metal screws. I'm not really sure what they were for. I just found them at Lowe's and they looked like they would work. They were nice and thick, so I felt like they would really grab onto this brick and the wall behind it and be nice and sturdy, which it definitely was. I was not concerned at all. There are 3 screws in each bracket on either side, so 6 total for each shelf, and it is holding nice and solid, so no worries there.
I got the shelving up and it looks so good. I am so happy with it. I was a little nervous, because I didn't know if I should take it all the way to the wall or center it between the window. Oh my gosh. Hold on, let me gather my words.
Alright, so it's time to focus on cleaning the stovetop. As you can see, it had a lot of burnt on food and it needed a good scrub down. So I'm taking the burners off and those little black pieces out. I'm going to soak those in some warm soapy water and then start scrubbing down the stove. By the way, just a heads up, I ended up cutting my finger. I didn't share it, of course not. I would never do that. But yeah, I don't recommend using what I was using. I'm going to go ahead and share it with you guys, but be smarter than me, please. Don't use something that's not meant to clean an oven. So after giving it a good scrub down using some of these like little Brillo pads that were already up here, I don't know where these are from or why it's turning blue, but I used it and it worked pretty good. But then I went in with this scraper. This is where I messed up. Don't use this ever. They are super sharp on the edges and my hand slipped and I sliced my thumb wide open. So that was lovely. I got it all wrapped up and now I'm trying to use my left hand to clean, which was really hard. I did the best I could to scrub it down, on this day, but I was kind of feeling a little queasy, not gonna lie. I do not do good with any type of cut, blood, or anything like that. So yeah, it was rough. It wasn't bad at all, you guys. I'm being dramatic, but seriously, don't use what I used.
Okay, so I grabbed a few things from Dollar General, and then I also found a few things that were here, and I got some things from Aldi as well. I'm going to give you guys a quick haul before I start decorating. So starting here, this stuff right here is from Dollar General. So I got this little spatula holder, or spoon rest, I guess is what it's called. It was $3 and it was black, so it went perfectly with like the theme I'm going for. I got some hand towels. I think these were $3. This runner was $5. I'm not sure how big it is because there's no tag on it, but she sold it to me for $5. I brought some stuff from the house as well, some marshmallows and graham crackers, chocolate. I'm going to make like a little s'more container. I got some paper towels, 3 of these, I think, what are these called? Let's see if there's a name on them. I don't see a name. But I got 3 of these stems and they were $3 each. Over here, there's a few dishes that were already in here, so I'm just going to utilize these. I just love the way they look with the brown rim and there's like little specks on them. I don't know if you guys can see those. They're really pretty, especially in person. So I got those I'm going to be using. These are some containers I got from Aldi the other day. I've already washed them. They're ready to be used. I bought some olive oil as well just because I like the way the glass jar looks like out as like decoration, so I'm going to use that. And then I found these ceramic canisters from Aldi as well, and this one came as a 2-pack and then this one came by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and style these shelves. Okay, before I get started, here's a quick overview. You can see I already put the microwave over here. I got the stuff over here stained. Everything is looking really good.
Okay, so instead of filling the canisters with things like rice, beans, and flour, things that you would typically see on an open shelf or on open shelving in kitchens, I decided to go with the ingredients for s'mores. You can totally put whatever you want in canisters like this, but since this house is not used like a normal kitchen where you would actually use ingredients like that, this kitchen is more for kind of gathering, I guess you could say. I don't really know. We don't really cook like that up here. So I didn't want to fill those canisters with things that were going to sit there for the next 20 years just for looks. I wanted to keep it somewhat functional, and so that's why I chose ingredients to make s'mores. And we're definitely going to utilize that all summer long. I can guarantee it, because every time we have a fire, that's the first thing the kids want to do. But yeah, that's what I chose to use. But anyway, here's a quick overview of the kitchen before I got started. As you can see, it was just definitely outdated, very old, needed lots of cleaning, and this is what it looks like now. All right, so here is the new kitchen. It looks so good. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. The ceiling definitely needs some work. I have to add a cabinet door down here, so please just ignore that, pretend you don't see it. Once that's closed off and all the same color, it'll make a huge difference, but I have to customize that, and it's just been a crazy week for us, so I haven't got a chance to do that. But I will. I have a lot of work to do up here anyway, so I'll just kind of do little touch-ups as I go. But y'all saw I built this closet that now holds the water heater and everything. I got the oven clean pretty good, the stovetop. Look at that. It looks so nice. I literally cut my finger wide open doing it too. So blood, sweat, and tears went into cleaning and doing this project, and I am beyond happy with how it's turned out. I think it looks beautiful. But up here on the shelves, I just did functional things. So we eat s'mores up here, and I didn't really feel like it was necessary to have flour or sugar. Well, I'm gonna put sugar up here. I'm gonna do coffee and sugar in one of these. But yeah, y'all know what I'm saying. Like, this is just like a weekend getaway house, and usually we pack our own food when we come up here. But something we always forget is s'mores. So now we have a nice supply of those. We got plates, cups, a few bowls I saved from all the dishes that were in here. Down here on the countertop, I just did a jar of olive oil, and then this canister was already here, and I just filled it with spatulas from Aldi and a few spoons that were left behind. We got the sink off the side of the road, installed that, and the new countertops that came from Lowe's. These are stunning. For them to be laminated countertops, like super inexpensive, you guys, I could totally remodel a whole house for like an extreme budget. It would be so much fun to do, which I'm kind of doing that, I guess, in this house. But yeah, these are really pretty. The color I used here is Urban Bronze. At first, I wasn't sure if I would like it, but I do like how it's all come together. It looks nice. I should have done black candles, but you live and learn. Maybe I'll change those out later. And I just kept the original ones to save money. Up here, I did stain all the wood. So it was this really like orange pine looking color. And I stained that to this dark coffee. I painted the top up here just white. The backsplash is called Agreeable Gray.
The light above the kitchen window is from Amazon. It was $35, so it was super inexpensive. And then everything else is pretty much original. Over here, these little cups, there's like antique. These are so awesome. My husband saw these and he was like, can I have one of these and drink like a king? But I just use those up here. I feel like this looks like something from like a storybook or something. I don't know. Just like the dark wood with the, it just doesn't even seem like it's from this time, in my opinion. But anyway, this is from Michael's. So is the greenery. It was on clearance, and then the basket was here. I just filled it with napkins. I did stain these two as well. They were the same color as this. I used that gel stain in the coffee color. I still need to paint this wall. I haven't gotten around to doing that, but it doesn't look bad. So for right this minute, it's okay because I need to get more paint. But when I start painting, I would like to kind of just like work my way, you know, through the rest of the house, because as you can see, it needs lots of work. But yeah, on this side over here is really pretty and, you know, more updated, but it's still like farmhouse, masculine. It's not too girly, which was really important. I didn't want to come in here with like a bunch of cutesy things and make it not functional for the guys too. Like, I want it to work for everyone, and I feel like I was able to pull that off. So yeah, that's the kitchen. Okay, so I wanted to give you guys a breakdown on the cost. So I'm filming this up here. I wasn't going to film this today because I'm like kind of hot and sweaty, but oh, there's a wasp coming. Ah, don't freak out. Okay, take two. I think the wasp left. Let me go ahead and give you guys a breakdown on the cost of this project so far. Now, the total I'm going to share with you right here at this moment is probably not the exact total. I did round up quite a bit just to be safe because I don't have any of my receipts in front of me right now. They're all at home. But since the kids took a nap, I figured this would be the perfect time to go ahead and get this out of the way. So starting with the brick panels and the wood to build the closet, it was about $250 for that, $24 for the wood for the shelving, $180 for the countertops, $25 for the plumbing for the sink, because I had to buy like a few like extensions because the original plumbing would not work. $35 for the light above the window, $50 for decor, $25 for painting supplies like paint brushes, paint rollers. I had a lot of that stuff on hand, but I did want to add that in the total just to be safe. And it was $60 for the cabinet paint, which I have way too much of. I could have gotten away with like a sample size because it went so far, but it's fine. I'll use it on something else up here. But the total so far is $649. So, and that's give or take. I feel like I spent less than that, but like I said, I wanted to round up just to be on the safe side. And if you guys remember, my original budget or original video, I talked about it being about $800. And after making that video and really thinking about it, I thought to myself, that's quite... Okay, sorry, my camera turned off. But I was saying, when I originally said the $800 budget, I thought to myself, that's kind of high for paying out of pocket for a kitchen that is not mine, that's also like more of like a camp house style kitchen. So I really tried hard to stay way under that budget, and I was even able to stay under the $700. There are a few things that I still need to work on, but overall I'm very happy with the way the kitchen has turned out. I think it was a pretty dramatic change for the price that I spent. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this makeover. If you want to see more, make sure that you're subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up for me. Let me know in the comments what you think so far. I appreciate all of you being here so very much. I hope to continue to inspire you and motivate you to get other projects done as well. But I will see you all in my next one. Bye, y'all.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back.
To the wall, or center it between the window. Oh, the window. Oh my gosh. Hold on, let me gather my words.
You should have water now.
It's going. It's flowing!
Make sure we ain't leaking inside.
I'm trying. Woo! Got it! Woo! She's perfect! She's perfectly level! Yay! Go! He said I could frame something. Woo, I'm sweating. Okay, so then right here, oh my gosh, there's a bee by my face. Right here, right in the front porch, what am I trying to say? I got distracted because the bee was attacking me. Stop it! Dang it. I wasn't going to film this today because I'm like kind of hot and sweaty, but, oh, there's a wasp coming. Ah, don't freak out.